Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tangent Telephone. You may notice that, well, you do notice, I'm sitting in front of my Christmas tree, our stockings, which are on my wall, because I don't really have a mantle. Like I could, but I don't. That was a really useful piece of information that I just gave you. Hi, welcome. I wanted to start this earlier, but I just got, I went down a rabbit hole. To be fair, I was actually working. I wasn't just doom scrolling, but I just had an ADHD hyper focus moment, and I was going down a rabbit hole, and something really great just happened, which I'll talk about in a second. But I want to say hi, welcome, rate the podcast 5 stars, do all of the things. Like I was saying, I wanted to start this an hour ago because it's 4:45, and what time does the sun set these days? I don't know why I said these days, as if it doesn't change by a minute every day, but let's see what time the sun sets today. I'm gonna guess. Let's take a guess. I would have guessed 5 something, but I mean, I feel like it's already happening. I'm gonna guess 4:57. Did it already happen? Because it's not saying what time. Sunrise. Oh, it already happened. Sunset 4:43 p.m. and it's 4:46. Okay, 4:43 p.m. is criminal. And the sunset's on that side of my apartment, so you're not even really getting to see it. I wanted to sit on the ground. I'm sitting on a little cushion in front of my tree because I just feel like it's the first episode of December and 'tis the motherfucking season, even though it was 78 degrees today. But my apartment is very cutely decorated. Cutely is not an adverb. My apartment's decorated in various places. I think I'm actually gonna I've been debating on whether or not my voice just cracked. Hello, third puberty. Still deep in it. I've been debating. I really didn't think I was going to because of my insane absence from YouTube, this year in general, but doing Vlogmas this year. And I knew I wasn't going to do it every day, but maybe 12 days of Vlogmas. Last year I actually did Vlogmas, and I was going through some shit last year, and it was I remember I did the 12 days of Clipmas on my OnlyFans, and I also did Vlogmas on YouTube. It was good. I had a lot to focus on that month because that was a disaster of a month. Which, speaking of which, I just saw my little Snapchat 1 year ago thing was a photo I took the day that my belly popped, which was I guess today last year. And so that was kind of crazy. I just gotta chill, so we're not gonna talk about it anymore. But I'm debating if I should do some sort of Vlogmas or just do a few Christmassy videos on YouTube. And then for the podcast, I wanted to every week dress up as some sort of Christmas character, and yes, my excuse for this week is the fact that I always look like Cindy Lou Who, although I do have the wig. I've done it, I think the past 2 years I've worn the wig and done the whole thing. No, past 3 years, since 2020 I've done the whole thing. Rewinding even further, when I was 19 in college and doing the Santa bar crawl, I dressed up as Cindy Lou. I didn't have the wig, but I literally did my hair like her then. And also I've just looked like her since birth. So that's my excuse for today. But I want to dress up different Christmas characters because I'm kind of sick of dressing up Cindy Lou. But then also I'm trying to think of some, and all the ones I can think of are some sort of creature, like Frosty the Snowman, the Grinch. I could be Mrs. Claus, but that's boring. I could be an elf, but what other characters are there? I did a reindeer last year. Maybe I'll find a super obscure Christmas character and become that. Because I liked the dress up episodes for Halloween month for October, and I kind of want to keep doing that, and I want to make it festive for those of you that are watching the video version. See, it's already getting so dark outside. I sat down to do this, and for whatever reason, I just have nothing to talk about today, which isn't quite true. I have a million thoughts, obviously, but there's nothing that's really sticking out and making me want to devote an episode to it. I went to a charity event last Thursday. I'll put in some pics of my dress. It was gorge. And then this weekend I really just got my shit together. Today, it's so interesting. Whether you believe in astrology or not, I read sort of what my week was gonna look like, and I'm not just looking up Libra. No, I was kind of looking at my whole chart as a whole and seeing what was going on. Also, Venus moved into Scorpio today, and my Venus is in Scorpio. And Venus is the planet of love, and Venus is also Libra is ruled by Venus, which Libra is my sun sign. But My Scorpio is in Venus. In your birth chart, whatever sign is ruled by Venus, that's how you can kind of learn how someone is like in love, romance, even just like passion. Okay, back up. First of all, like I just said, Venus is in Scorpio as of today, December 4th, and I think until the 29th. So, what does that mean? This article that I'm looking at right now says Venus in Scorpio is a very passionate place. When Venus is in Scorpio, we embrace our desires head on and we do not hold back when it comes to how we feel. Those we care about will give us their full and direct attention. This is not a time when people hold back their affection for others. As the planet of love, Venus is not fond of exerting too much effort. However, when Venus is in Scorpio, a sign governed by Mars and Pluto, it tends to become more fixated and determined to achieve its objectives. Venus is more zealous in captivating and consuming others when it resides in the fixed water signs. So basically, during this time, December 4th to 29th, relationships will go through a significant transformation. Love will take the center stage. Venus in Scorpio is also about commitment, and the way in which we choose to commit can evolve during this period. Venus's transit in Scorpio allows relationships to stand the test of time. When it comes to sex, Venus in Scorpio likes it hot. This planetary placement will tie you down, tie you up, and tie you around. Nothing is off limits as long as it's consensual. It doesn't hold back when expressing wants and needs in the bedroom. It will have a direct nature that will allow people and their partners to understand how to fulfill their sexual yearnings. Venus in Scorpio will add a dose of intensity to the bedroom. This isn't a transit for the lighthearted. If you have an extreme emotional connection to the person you are crushing on or your significant other, then up your game. Don't resist the urge to keep your feelings to yourself. Oh my gosh, there's an ambulance. Be careful not to upset Venus and Scorpio as they are prone to unleashing their stingers and hurting those deeply who defy the emotional vibe. So that's just like a little bit of what to consider during this time. I think that's like 3 weeks. And then personally, like I said, my Venus is in Scorpio. When your Venus is in Scorpio, there's a heightened desire for sex and romance and sensuality and love, and just people that have this placement, aka me, are typically like, how would I explain it? Like sex appeal, but not just that. It's just like the way that they move about life is just romantic. It's also like the most loyal placement. Like Venus and Scorpio. Scorpio is intense, like known for being loyal to the ones that they love, which is interesting because I've had a Scorpio cheat on me. I digress. Venus being the planet of love and sensuality and sex, passion, having those two together, it's like, that's a loyal bitch. And that is me. If I had to pick like 10 words to describe myself, one of them would be loyal, probably. I'm looking at this article that says they expect romance from their partners. They want serious commitment. And then it says, oh, Venus and Scorpio also makes the perfect person crafty and creative. True dat. This position also poses the person at a risk of a venereal disease. Look, I've said this before and I will say it again. The fact that I've never had an STD is just beautiful, and someone's real. The universe is real. Someone's real. It's just, I feel statistically unlikely. I'll never forget when my best friend lost her virginity. First of all, she was like 22 and she literally got an STD the first time, and she was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how have you never had one? And I just had sex and I got one. Oh, look at that. It's dark outside. I wanted to do a whole episode reading my birth chart. I feel like that would be a lot, but maybe we could just like take it placement by placement, you know? That could be fun. This article is called Loving Venus in Scorpio. Loving Venus in Scorpio is like loving a creature who desperately wants to, but feels as though they must refrain from eating you alive. What? Venus and Scorpio people attract others with their intensity and willingness to commit. They have a strong and concentrated manner which suggests their feelings run deep. This, by the way, I'm reading Cafe Astrology. I like how we're just starting this episode with a tangent. Cafe Astrology, by the way, is a really good website to use if you want to get your birth chart. I find that most of their information is like quite spot on, especially for just like a first time dipper of the toe. What? Let's get back to me. No. But honestly, maybe you're listening to this and your Venus is also in Scorpio and you can be like, oh my gosh, she's reading me to filth right now. I don't think I've ever known anyone that has a Scorpio Venus. At least that I've like, I'm sure I've known someone, but like that I've looked at their chart. Anywho, back to this. Their actions in love tend to promise deep commitment and sexual pleasure, even if they are not telling you this directly. This is me as fuck. Like, I don't know. This is only one aspect of my chart. you know? Their appeal lies in their focus on you and their dedication. Venus in Scorpio seems fearless when it comes to intimacy. Potential lovers get the feeling that Venus in Scorpio will never stray, that they are intensely loyal to the one they love. They possess you and somehow make it seem attractive to be possessed. Venus and Scorpio women give you their complete attention. They're very focused on their partners. Depending on your personality, you might find this unnerving or entirely flattering. You know, mixed with like abandonment issues, which can tend toward like codependency, I'm surprised that like I'm not crazier than I am in relationships. I think maybe it's the fact that Scorpios are so loyal, but if you hurt them, if you betray them, that they will like cut you off and not look back. They won't like keep coming back and begging, which is true of me. I have noticed it to not be true of people that I've been with, and I can get sucked back in, but I will not be the one to come back. So maybe that's why. Anywho, their body and soul love and commitment can be so intense that it eclipses fun and makes loving them a very heavy experience. Their emotion and intensity may seem overdone to those looking for a more lighthearted relationship. It can be very provocative. Although they want to explore all of your nooks and crannies, they won't always be forthcoming with their own. Me, I'm like, let me eat your ass. Also, don't eat my ass. When you've upset these lovers, you'll know it. Depending on the moment, Venus and Scorpio will shoot you one of the most piercing glares around. I don't know. Probably. Their eyes are the most... Oh, wait. Venus and Scorpio's eyes will always reveal to you how they are feeling. Literally, like 2 days ago, I was just having a conversation about how my eyes are expressive, or I think my whole face is pretty fucking expressive, but I think my eyes... I've also, my ex, who was a Scorpio that I was with when I first moved to LA, was so like fixated on my eyes and like trying to figure out how I was feeling by looking at them. And he was a photographer, and he would always take photos of my eyes and like write poetry about my eyes and draw that. Like, that's a thing. That has to be a thing. You have to please comment or something, rate, and tell me if you have Scorpio in your chart and if eyes are relevant to that at all. They're not afraid of being underhanded in matters of the heart, and they're experts at cutting through all the fluff and seeing you for what you are. Having a Scorpio Venus and also like a Libra Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, it's such like a juxtaposition. It's like airy, super fucking airy, and then just like the most heavy placement. Pleasing a Venus in Scorpio involves demonstrating your complete commitment and loyalty to them. Appreciate their guts when it comes to love and intimacy. Didn't I talk about this in a previous episode? Respond to my nude with a goddamn fucking novel, okay? If you can and they're deserving, relinquish some of the control in the relationship. Let them feel they own you without taking it to extremes. Let them have their secrets and their silences. Personal ad bio. I'm emotional and deep. I'll be very loyal to forever. I'm looking for commitment. I'll make you happy in bed. Deeply passionate relations are desired with Venus and Scorpio. Superficial flirtations and contacts do not satisfy, as they yearn for body and soul contact with someone special. Contact that breaks the taboos, that is extreme and intense, and that is unforgettable. True dat. This is a highly emotional position for Venus. It's passionate, sensual, and intense energy. Their relationships are immensely important to them, and they may even feel that relationships consume them. In fact, they tend to want to be consumed by them. Reading myself to filth. I swear to God, I'm either in a relationship and it's the most important thing to me, or when I'm single, I don't care to have like a roster, really. Like I just don't, like, I will be so focused on myself, and then the second that like I'm in love, it's like, it's not like the person that I fixate on, it's like the relationship. I'm actually okay with that as long as it's healthy. Like, trust me, there have been times where I was putting way too much in and, you know, doing my thing because I think love is so important. One of the most important fucking things. Actually, I'm gonna take that back and say the most important thing. But the other person has to also be invested as much or more. And in my mind, I think that's fine. Like it said, like, they tend to want to be consumed by them. Yeah. But I don't want to be, nor am I ever, like, consumed by flings or hookups or anything like that. Like, I would prefer not to. And I'd prefer not to, like, seek that out when I'm single. So, although the basic drive is toward intense closeness, blind faith in their partners is extremely hard. Disdain for mediocrity and superficiality can compel them. Gosh, the freaking cars are so loud. I feel like I need to close my blinds now, because not only is it dark, but I'm shining a fucking light onto my face. They can go from one extreme of emotion to the next quite quickly. They sometimes appear very sensitive and yielding, and other times completely closed off, for example. I don't know that I ever would appear closed off, but I think unfazed is better. I always thought that was more of like my Gemini or just Libra situation, where like it's like not an act. I genuinely am very chill, and then at times I would say I'm always sensitive, but it's just like I'm sensitive to others around me, and situations and people, but like in the sense of like, for example, getting like jealous or upset in a relationship, it really is, it's either I'm like very chill and I don't care, that just stopped recording on me so I don't know when it cut off, but I was saying that I'm either like very chill or something will upset me a lot and I'll be very hurt by it and like sometimes unable to move past it. But they're both real. Like I'm not faking the chill and I'm not like over dramatizing something, because it's just like it really depends. Their tastes in art, clothing, furnishings, and music tend to be dark, surreal, passionate. Most of their true character lies beneath the surface, and what they choose to put on display may even be deceptive. Maybe, but considering other aspects of my chart, for example, my Libra sun, not so much. Because Libra sun is all about like everything is aesthetic and beautiful, and it's like very important. But I identify with this too. Collectively during this time, we'll feel more passionate, magnetic, sensual, and intense. Our sex drive is likely to increase during this transit. We may also lean toward extremes in our relationship dynamics, making it essential to practice the art of patience when communicating with those we love or those we once loved. On Wednesday the 6th, Neptune, the planet of fantasy and illusion, ends its 5-month retrograde through Pisces, aka we'll feel more emotionally in tune with ourselves and others without second-guessing our intuitive instincts. It may boost our imaginative abilities, so creativity, things like that. December 6th, which is Wednesday, maybe you'll be feeling more creative and more in tune with yourself. Neptune's shift direct in Pisces on the 6th, in your sector of depth, intimacy, and merging, further encourages you to face your inner wounds and reveal them for the associated parties to reflect on and help you heal. This isn't work that you're meant to do alone. Wait, what? Why am I reading Leo? How did I get here? Okay, well, if you're a Leo sun or rising, to continue that sentence, this isn't work that you're meant to do alone, Leo, so embrace the power of vulnerability and partnership. Why did it go to Leo? I could read everyone's sign, but I'm not going to do that because that would take a long time, and also I think I just spent 20 minutes talking about that, which is fine because like I said, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I'm going to close my blinds really quick. I'm feeling vulnerable, and I'm not a Leo, so I don't need to be feeling that right now. God, I could literally have an astrology podcast too. See, do I need to just start like 12 different podcasts? One for skincare, and one for astrology, and one for like mental health? No, because I would not stick to them, which is why I have this one where I can literally talk about something different every week, and I don't know, 7% of my audience will like it because they're like, I have no interest in this, but that's fine because at least I'll be consistent. And that's my little ADHD workaround. But also, like, tell me that I'm wrong. And when I say I mean the planets are wrong when it comes to what I just said about how we're going to be feeling as a collective this next, what was that, 3 weeks? December 4th to 29th? 3-ish weeks. My Instagram is literally blowing my phone up to the point where it's frozen. Don't you just love somehow being in drama even though you didn't fucking do anything? Same. Oh yeah, I forgot I asked on Instagram what I should talk about. Because I was like, I have no fucking clue. The first 3 I just saw, first of all, favorite memories growing up. Second of all, Christmas, duh. And the next one, my butthole, obviously. Why were those both like, duh? Pepperoni pizza. Okay, so many of these suggestions are literally, appreciated, but things that I've already talked about, already told the story. I don't know about that. I'm feeling a little break needed. Also, is this my color? Because I put this on and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like complementing my skin and hair. And I've been feeling like recently I have no colors, if that makes sense. Like blue, I've always known that blue is a good color for me, and gray is potentially like my best color, like a cool toned gray, I think, like a darker gray. It's good on my skin and my eyes. But I put this on and it's like teal, which means there's like a little bit of green in it, and I feel like it's complementing my skin so nicely and hair. And now I'm like, do I need to like buy more teal clothing? Anywho, I'm gonna take 5, and by that I mean I don't know how long, but I'll be back. Hey bitches. Okay, don't hate me, but it's Tuesday at like 6:30 p.m. I just edited this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish it, but here's the fucking thing. We have a lot of technical difficulties because I don't currently have a laptop, so I've been using my friend's, and he needs it back. So it's just gonna be a shorter episode this week. Hope you don't mind. You don't really have a fucking choice. Love you.